Good morning, y'all. This is Jeeah from Black House Brands, and you're tuning in to Morning Melanin. Hey, yo, Benji.
What's good?
Let's wake the people up.
Let's do it. I love it. I love it. See, you got it. Good morning.
What's up, dude?
Oh my goodness, Jeeah. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm really glad that we met.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you're here. You decided to come, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah. Does this light affect anything? Could you turn it on for me real quick? Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I am like, this is offline. I'll tell you just about my content journey with like building content around my brand, and we talked about our brands all the time. But like just the journey of like restructuring, reframing some things, and I think I briefly told you about how like certain people hopped on my wagons, other people hopped off the wagon, but you know, either way, I had to keep chugging.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes, right? So we're gonna talk about a lot of things today. You know, we're gonna talk about your wonderful platform that you are delivering to the universe, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited
too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, it's morning melanin. It's always morning somewhere. Sometimes I record these at like 5 p.m. in the afternoon, but it don't matter.
morning somewhere.
It's morning somewhere. It's
And there's
7 o'clock.
melanin wherever that morning
Wherever
is.
Thank you.
Straight up.
See, I'm gonna put you on the slogan. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, let's introduce to the people who we are talking to today. Who are you?
Hi, guys. My name is Jeeah Yisrael, and I'm Chief Brand Manager of my company, Black House Brands. We're the most private branding house in Atlanta, and I'm sure we'll get into that a little more later. But at heart, I'm a brand strategist and graphic designer. I'm definitely both sides of the brain. I love strategy, but I love art. So I managed to put a company together that allows me to do both. I have over 10 years graphic design experience. I have designed domestically and internationally. I've designed for a candidate for the House of Representatives before. I've had a million different projects in my short time. I feel like being a designer and a strategist, but lots of incredible experiences.
Big things. Love to see it. Yeah. So Black House Brands, right? The most private branding house
In Atlanta.
Sounds real fancy.
Thanks, dog. Worked hard on it.
How long have you been in the branding industry?
Specifically the branding industry, about 1.5 years.
Okay. So did you come from like another industry, maybe something adjacent, or?
Yeah, I was doing, I had a graphic design background, like strictly
gotcha.
graphic design. And what happened is I had like all the things that I just told you, like the domestic, international, like working with the candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives. All that was happening when I was in college doing graphic design.
So you does this.
Well,
that's what I'm hearing. You does this.
I would say that I've been, I've been trying things and, growing and blessed to have had many opportunities at a young age. And then when I got my degree in marketing, it made sense. And I thought it, the best path to kind of blend that marketing degree with my graphic design experience to focus on branding.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Which is why I kind of say like, I know how to do a lot. I can take pictures and all that stuff too, but I'm not a photographer.
Right.
I'm a graphic designer.
Yeah.
But I'm also a brand strategist.
Yeah.
Got
it. No, that's fair. That's fair. So what made you, you started this company, this platform, this brand, this entity. What inspired you to actually come up with this? Like, was there a catalyst? Was there a need that you were specifically trying to solve? Like, what's that story looking like? Yeah.
So, I feel like there's two sides to that story.
Okay.
So on the one hand, there's my personal side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the need was that I was about to graduate.
Yeah.
I was barely applying to jobs because I honestly just like nothing was really hitting like my heart. Like
Yeah, no, I feel that.
you know, so it was coming to a point where, you know, I'm about to be done with school, so, you know, time to go into the real world.
Right.
But at the same time, I wasn't applying for many jobs because I don't know, if it don't sit with my spirit, I can't.
Okay.
You know? So basically, time was ticking, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? I remember being on the floor of my apartment in tears. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have to move back in with my parents and all this stuff. What am I going to do? And my family was like, you already have a graphic design business.
Yeah.
Just keep working
Keep
for
working
yourself.
on it. Yeah.
And I was like, but, because back then, I was, you know, I had experience and stuff. Matter of fact, when I first started, I first started off doing business cards, and I did a little free raffle because so many people on campus like yourself had businesses and X, Y, and Z. For like $20, I would make business cards. That's where I really started. And so by the time I was graduating, I was doing logos maybe for $250, $300, right?
Okay.
And I was like, that's not even though.
Really?
Like, that's not even enough to, I was like, this isn't enough to sustain myself.
Right.
So I was like, I need to come up with a business model where I can have like 4 clients and live.
That's facts.
You feel me?
That's facts.
So there was a personal side to it. But then on the other side, I've always loved black business. When I was in college, if you don't know who Corey, I think his nickname is the Network King, Corey Moore, Network King. I used to be an intern for Urban Atlanta, his company, Pro Networker, for over a year, I think.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's the type of dude who just knows everybody.
Right.
But I used to just help him with his networking events, and I met so many people, so many clients. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, the point is, I've always loved black business. I've always loved the finer things too. Like when I was in college,
I could tell.
When I was in college, I used to travel. Boy, while I was in college, I went to Spain for about 5 weeks. Went to Toronto on spring break, which was a terrible time. It was freezing.
Oh man!
But you know, the beauty of the city bled through. It was incredible.
Wait, in the spring? This was April?
It was freezing.
Really?
Freezing.
Yeah, it probably is still freezing.
Literally freezing. But anyway, the point is, you know, being in college, I got a lot of great experiences, and I'm like, look, I did see a need. I saw, first of all, I think we're at a point where I don't want to pretend like we have all the resources we need, but there are a lot of resources for small black businesses. I wanted to create resources for medium-sized and large black businesses because they need support in certain ways too.
Absolutely.
We're sitting here at the Gathering Spot, a maybe medium or large-sized company, and they need help.
Yes.
In ways, of course, like they need brand strategy things too. And there are companies that are maybe even right below the Gathering Spot that can help get to their level. This is such an impactful company we're sitting with right now.
Correct.
How can we help companies that aren't just getting started, but companies who have been in business and who are already bringing in revenue? How can we help them get this level of impact? So I saw a need to work with medium and large size black businesses. I've always loved spaces. I've always been an Airbnb head for real.
Really?
Yeah, for real. And that's because I love the spaces that I'm like, I can just pay you.
Peer Space too. That's another one.
Yeah, I like Peer Space. I'm like, I can just pay you X, Y, and Z and just basically live here. Like, this is beautiful, you know. So I love space, and we'll get into that more. But yeah, some of the needs I was seeing.
No, I feel that, and I mean, I definitely noticed that about you, and just noticing your aura, right? You definitely, like you said, you mentioned you like the finer things in life, which is great. Right, I think we could all benefit from just kind of elevating ourselves to be like, yo, like I like premium quality, I like the best, or I like this, and that's what I'm gonna get into that later in the conversation, right? But circling back to the Gathering Spot and other businesses, I like to refer to them as growing businesses, right? Because the word growing is inherently positive. Yeah. So like, you know, small is kind of like you put people in a box. Yeah. It's like, okay, are they going to be forever small, right? Are they always going to have 10 employees? Right. Growing is just like they have 10 now, but they may have 20 next month.
Yeah.
Or next year. Right. And one of my good friends who's also into branding, and she has she makes custom merch for businesses.
That's
so anything from shirts to pants, apparel, but also like wearables, wristbands.
What's her company? Shout out real quick.
By J Creates. Shout out to my girl Jamisa.
Yeah.
Yes, love her to death. And so she has a very similar approach of like, she's the one who told me that, right? And she also told me the premise of not being so pressured to be like, oh, I want to 10x my business by like 6 months. She said break it down into 2xing your business. Okay. And if you could 2x your business, she's on a path to 2x her business every year.
Cool.
And I was like, that's powerful, because in a span of 5 years, which we know statistically a lot of businesses don't make it to age 5. Gathering Spot is now 6 years old, by the way. Yeah. So year 1, you're at you're 0x, I guess, 1x. Sure. Year 2, you're 2x. That means year 3, you're 4x. Year 4, you're 8x. And then year 5, you're 16. So like you're almost 20x your business in a span of 5 years just by making incremental steps.
I'm a fan.
And it's a very powerful concept. Yeah. Just like deconstructing that. But anywho, I said it to say like when we address our clientele, all right, because we have similar clientele. Yeah. I love the premise of growing businesses.
Me too.
Yeah. But nah, Black House Brands, man, y'all have so much to offer. It's let's really dive into some nuts and bolts here. Like what is it? All right? What exactly is this company? And actually, you know what? Before I even get into that, I did not know that you went from school straight into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, life's crazy.
Could you talk about that for a second?
It's crazy. Like, I haven't gone hungry yet.
That's good. Yeah. No, absolutely, because that's powerful. Yeah. Not a lot of students, graduates can say that.
For real.
So like what was that transition like for you? I didn't know that.
Oh, well, yeah, fun fact. So I'm gonna tell you this. In hindsight, it was smooth. It honestly was effortless in hindsight. I've got so much anxiety about I'm like, how am I gonna make it to this and that and that? Yeah. But the Most High provides
tonight.
But honestly, there's never been a time where I'm like, how am I gonna pay the rent? There's never been a time where I'm like, how I'm gonna eat. Yeah. I've never really had to consider, moving with my parents. Like honestly, it's been effortless in hindsight.
Interesting.
But in real life, having to figure out how to do it and putting the pieces together and not always feeling like you know what you're doing.
Yes.
And kind of always being willing to evolve and just shift and pivot, just constantly pivoting.
No, facts.
Facts. That's what the experience was like.
I feel that. I mean, that's kind of the premise of entrepreneurship. Like, you never really know what you're doing. Okay. You know how you're doing it, though. And it's weird. Like, you don't really know what the thing is, but you know how to do it. Yeah. It sounds like an oxymoron. Because, like, how can you know how to do something that you don't even know what it is? Yeah. But, no, entrepreneurship doesn't make sense.
No,
Oh, it really doesn't. You gotta
be a little crazy. Did you tell me that?
Yes.
You gotta be a little crazy.
You have to be crazy. Just a little bit. And there was an analogy that I was describing to somebody about like walking up a hill with ski shoes on, but it's the middle of July, but it's snowing and it's raining. And you have like this 20-pound backpack on, no hat, so the sun's beating down on you. Yeah. But it's snowing. So it's none of this makes sense. But you're just like, I got to get to the top, bro. I got things to do, and I have other people to bring with me. Yeah. So sometimes you may even have someone tethered to you. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, when people hike, sometimes they have the lines. Like, they're tethered to each other. Like, literally. So, but yeah, like, speaking of that, did you have any support? Did you have any tethers as well of people who
absolutely
transition?
Even if you go on our website. So if you go to blackhouseBrands.com and you click the fam, it'll scroll you up to see all the people on our team.
Click the link. Actually, click the link. Cool.
You good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was telling them to click the link.
Oh, yeah. Hit the link, y'all.
Hit the link.
But if you go, you see our family. There's maybe a picture of 8 people on that screen. But the support we have is like right above that. It says, but our family, a website could never hold, all the people who supported us on our journey. So first and foremost, I want to say that Imani and Winston, those are my road dogs. I call us the originals.
There we go.
The OGs.
Yeah.
Because they've been with me since the business before this, business before that.
Got you.
Business,
Got
right?
you. Yeah. Yeah.
Back
yeah.
when it was fixed graphic designs and
Oh.
Studio 72 graphics.
Not Studio 72.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to him now.
So Imani and Winston, they've just always been willing to support me, honestly, in whatever direction and whatever business endeavor. They've been a huge help. And Imani's our assistant brand manager, and Winston is currently our master of sound.
Right.
So those two have been a huge help.
Yeah.
But also my family. So my dad, for most of my life, he's been a data strategist for Coca-Cola.
Nice.
And then my mom, I grew up, she's always been a writer / director. So
yeah, you've been in it.
You can see both sides of the coin there.
You've been in it, yeah.
But they've been a huge help as well, just helping me to understand. I mean, my grandma, it's just, support has always been around me, and
so
I'm
this
thankful.
is in your DNA.
Yeah.
It's literally in your DNA.
It's crazy.
No, I feel that. I'm really big on that, like the habits and personalities and experiences of our forefathers and foremothers literally passed down to us. Like this it comes through us. We come from our parents, like literally. So how would we not also come, like how you say, oh, you act so much like your mom, or you look so much like your dad. Like that's what it is.
That's how
So you have bits and pieces of a data strategist inside of you.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you said film director is what?
Let's say writer.
Writer, right? You have that. A storyteller.
Absolutely.
Right? So let's talk about some nuts and bolts here. Like, so we talked about your story and how you got here, right? What exactly do y'all do?
Yeah. So, again, most private branding house in Atlanta. We say that for a few reasons.
Right. Talk to him. What is a branding house? So let's start there.
So we do brand development and custom art design.
Okay.
So if you have a company and you have maybe obstacles you're trying to overcome, or you're trying to get your story across to your audience and it's not quite reaching, we can help develop your brand so that it can reach.
Got it.
So that it can, a lot of times I say, turn you from a company that's running to a brand that's impacting.
Ooh, say that one more time.
From a company that's running to a brand that's impacting.
I love it. That's a gem.
So some of the tools we use to do that are some strategy things like brand audits and positioning strategy and workshops. But some of the creative things are graphic design and brand identity design and photography, videography, and sound design.
All the stuff.
Yeah.
All the things.
All the things.
Yeah. No,
So that's the more serious side, the brand development. But we can use a lot of those same tools to do custom art design, which is kind of what we're breaking into. So let's say the Gathering Spot wanted an art piece on their wall, or Cigar City Club, where they're like, we're missing an art piece, or we need a signature wall design.
Okay.
We can help create those things to also help speak to your audience, but it's a little bit more luxe than a necessity, I suppose.
Okay. Right. And I mean, you said like you appreciate the finer things, you know, and aesthetic is perfectly fine to really add to that vibe, that mood. Cool. So that's what y'all do. Are there other like branding houses that like you kind of were inspired by, or you know, you saw what they do and you're like, that's an interesting approach to branding? Because like I've never really heard of a branding house. When I think of the services that you all offer, I just think of like a PR firm, right? So like I guess my question would be, what does set Black House apart from Chamber Media, which is another like PR marketing firm that I follow on Instagram, and they do all that stuff. They help make the branding stuff and the So what sets y'all apart from something like that? Yeah,
so real quick, let me just shout out a few companies that I'm a fan of that maybe have helped me make this vision come true, I suppose, or I've looked up to. So for one, Creative Juice, that's run by, I want to say, her first name's Octavia. I don't remember her last name. But Creative Juice is Atlanta-based. I remember they had like let's say their couple of year anniversary, and they just opened it to the public. I was still in college. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna show up.
Right.
So I didn't know anybody there. Yeah. Everybody knew each other.
Right.
They're like, who are you?
Chilling,
I'm like, hey, you put it on Instagram. I'm here.
Yeah.
Got to see their office, and it was just inspiring. So that's a company that I've looked up to before I even started all this. I recently had a call with Gabby Payne up in D.C., though.
Okay.
And she runs a company called, I want to say it's the Boss Blueprint.
Okay.
She's very dope, and she inspired me just yesterday, and I have to shout her out right now because I was like, girl, we want to be like you when we grow up.
No, facts.
So
Facts.
those are two that I just have to shout out. But in terms of being a branding house, I just really wanted to, a lot of what Black House is about calm. About chilling out, like creating space and just be cool, like chilling out. And we are a branding agency, but we're a branding house. Like it's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's cozy. And so one of the things that separates us from maybe a PR firm or a marketing agency, first and foremost, is we don't do PR and we don't do marketing.
That answers, there you go. Right.
We can maybe help you get to those people, but that's not what we do.
Right.
We're about branding. How can we really love the art, but we realize that art just for the art's sake is just pretty. It's not functional.
Facts.
So that's why we love strategy too. Like, literally, it's like your brand, like, who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
Period.
Yeah.
And then the marketing is, all right, what do you want people to do?
What do you want people to do? It's a call to action.
Right. And you can just start
doing
figuring out what you want people to do first, but it's kind of odd if you don't first understand who you even are.
Yeah.
No,
facts. And that reminds me of actually one of my favorite companies. They're not Black, but it's Apple. Boo.
I used to work for them.
Yeah, but like honestly, Apple is revolutionary in their branding. There was a TED Talk that I was watching. I love TED Talks, by the way. And he was talking about how Apple does their marketing versus like Microsoft Android, right? Yeah. And like he was basically breaking it down how Apple sells art, like a form of art. It's not just a phone. Like when you look at their commercials, they don't even say, there's no word. Some of them don't even have words, right? Nike is another company like that, where they'll just have a product placement and you'll know, like, that's dope. Bet. I want to get some Jordans now. Like, that's it. When you see an Apple commercial, it's super artsy, it's super creative, and you see the branding versus like, oh, this is not a paid actor. And the person's like saying their experience. Like it's whole different vibes. Yeah. Whole different vibes.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's those elements that we can all take from, right? Because these are foundational things when it comes to brand building. Foundational things of telling people who you are. Yeah. But no, I just thought that was interesting. Like,
yeah, Apple's been a big inspo for me too. I worked for them for like a year just at the mall. Yeah. But just seeing how much thought they put into things, from the way that their furniture's set up to the when you open the box, the air pressure that's in the box, so that when you open it, it opens just right. Like,
no, all of that, the small details.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
very small. When the boot up screen, like those are very small details. Someone gets paid.
Oh yeah.
To deconstruct all of that and be like, all right, let's wait 5 seconds on the boot up screen. Give them the hello in every language. Like, those are very small details. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, so you said you're a branding house, but you also said you're a private branding house.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second. So what does that mean?
Sure. I'm going to tell you what it means now, and I will also say that it's going to change.
Okay.
So right now, we're membership based. That's one thing that makes us private.
Right.
So that means it's really simple to become a member in practice, right? Hit us up. You either know us in person or you go to our website and request an invite. Yeah. And that'll allow you to get an interview with us. Interview is like a 20-minute chat. What's up? What can we help? What can we do you for?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If everything sounds like we should keep going. Step 2 is a consultation. That's a 1 to 2 hour chat. It's about $150. TGS members get $50 off.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. And that's us really coming on site to your location and getting to really understand what you're all about and what you need in depth. If after that conversation we decide this looks like a good fit for membership, boom, we offer you a customized brochure of services that we can service you with. Now, so the biggest thing is qualifying for membership.
Correct.
So what makes you qualify? Yeah. Well, we specifically we bring people on based on what our mission is, what our vision is. So we're not a branding agency for just anybody and everybody who needs branding.
True.
Our mission is to make Atlanta the most comfortable place on earth. Synonymous with hospitality, abundance, and design excellence.
That's a dope vision. You need to get on a committee with the mayor and say that. Like, no, like seriously, that's high level. That's high level.
Thank you. Yeah. And so we're not going to really bring on a member unless they're helping to serve that mission. We also have certain policies that we have in place, right? We're not going to do business, and this isn't to put down these companies, but we're not interested in doing business if there's a lot of violence, if there's a lot of maybe sexual things or nudity. And we really stay away from like religious and political things, because this is about chilling out, like calm. Right? So if we are bringing those things in, we're not pushing forward our mission. So that's what being private is all about. Also, Atlanta. We only have one member who's not Atlanta based.
Interesting.
And that was a decision we had to sit down and really, figure out if we were going to let that happen. But that's because we are in Atlanta and we're for Atlanta.
Absolutely.
So.
And Atlanta has so much to offer.
Yeah.
I mean, so much.
Yeah.
And speaking on that, like, because I mean, what I was getting to was, a lot of times there is controversy on like exclusive spaces or, prices is too high and this, that, and the third. And like, it's a toss up, especially being a business owner now, right? Understanding the psychology of pricing. I'm glad we got to this topic. It's so important because for the simple fact of you're providing a service. And the good thing is like, I like to preach options. And so if people were to come up and say, oh, who does this young lady think she is, charging a membership fee for da-da-da-da, like, that's fine, sir and madam. You can go somewhere else. And like, it's not like a diss, but like, I appreciate the fact that there are different options in getting what you need to get done. Like, I encourage that, because you're attracting a very specific clientele, as you should. We need that. We need it's okay to be specific and have that ties into your brand. Because everybody and their mama has a branding agency, right? So like, what sets you apart?
Exactly.
Atlanta has a bunch of media stuff. We got Tyler Perry Studios here. A lot of movies are filmed in Atlanta. So like, it's a very media centric, branding centric place. So your little pocket is a nice little corner that people can come to. Like, this is it.
And I like that you called it a little pocket, because as I'm getting older, I'm really growing more comfortable with the idea that I'm not trying to take over all of Atlanta. I'm not trying to take over the U.S. I'm not trying to do all this big thing. I just want to carve out our little space. And do well in it.
No, like, seriously. And like, from a business perspective, just from a business development perspective, you can be a very private entity in a company and still have a huge market share. Like, you don't have to be a publicly traded company, global brand to gain a lot of the revenue that you desire, right? I'm trying to think of companies that are like that, but like, they're probably small. Like, think of the boutiques or the hidden companies, basically. They're like in the shadows. Like
Matchstick Branding, they're branding house for the South. I don't know them that well, but they're pretty big. A lot of people might not even know their name, but they work with WABE. They work with a lot of bigger organizations, and they dominate in their space. But they're not. I don't think they're worldwide. I don't think they're doing all that. What's wrong with that?
No, facts. I mean, and that speaks to your point of like, you do want to kind of sidestep certain things that are controversial, like political views, religious views, and like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? All of us have religious views.
And you got somewhere to go for that.
Exactly.
If you want to do that, go.
Yeah, and
go get that.
Because that's kind of the responsibility a business may have if they try to get that big, because you're literally attracting a huge amount of people that comes with the diverse pool of religious views and political views and other identities that people associate with, which is fine, right? People are gonna people at the end of the day.
People are gonna people. You can count on it,
right? And like, I that's why I'm resonating on this so much, because branding it can make or break you. If you develop a brand and you get to a level of growth where, oh damn, now you have to kind of meet the demand of a wide variety of different people or demographics or walks of life that you probably weren't prepared or willing to deal with, you need to address that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why from the very beginning, I was like, I want to have control over this narrative. So we're going to be private. I don't know what that, from the beginning, I was like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
Oral. Representation matters. A black smile on the back don't make you want to smile. So,
if you were to choose
the feminine products, the bandages. Some people don't even know there's black-owned detergent, black-owned toothbrushes, having bandages for brown-skinned people.
They said we out here giving tips out now. We done went to the first 50. Now it's on the tips, baby. On the tips.
And we're going on tour across Metro Atlanta delivering free care packages to college students that are all 100% black owned. I think we were talking about exclusivity a little bit. Yeah, I mean, have you ever had people, maybe have apprehension with your exclusive business model?
I think
both clientele and like employees.
No, I think people have questions. They want to further understand why we're exclusive and how we're exclusive. I think our biggest thing that we're learning is how to tell people no without making people. Well, I don't feel like I can make anybody not like me. Like that's kind of your business. But
right.
But trying to.
There's a way to go about it.
Yeah, how to explain it. We've. Being a private agency, we've obviously said no to a few people. And so a lot of times for me, instead of kind of saying no, I kind of explain, well, this is what we're trying to do.
Right.
This is who we're trying to target to.
Right.
I'm glad that you found us,
right.
But I don't think we're a great fit. And I also work or partner with and love to meet other brand strategists and branding agencies because I might say, hey, we're not a good fit, but my girl CEO Connect, like for example, I get women sometimes who have beauty companies. Like a really popular hair company came to us one time. Could have been great money, all those things. But I'm not trying to work with beauty product companies. That's just not what I'm in the business of. It maybe certain ones, but that wasn't a good fit. But hey, the CEO Connect, Candace, I can connect you with her. She's fabulous at what she does. Why work with me when you can work with somebody who does what you're looking for?
Correct.
So
and that goes back to my options.
I'm a fan
it comes
of
back.
It's less of a no, and it's more of a here's a better fit.
Facts.
And
that's where the Stratcom comes in, right? And so like that's what I really learned about Stratcom and the value of it. It's you're communicating purpose. While bringing value to reach a common goal. Those three things is purpose, value, and goal. So like if those three things don't align, then it kind of becomes mutual. Like both of y'all can kind of agree to agree. So I don't believe in agreeing to disagree, by the way. I say this on all of my podcasts, especially when there's like multiple people or we're having a debate. I encourage all my guests to agree to agree. You're agreeing that we have different views.
Sure.
I don't you're the saying like you shouldn't go to bed angry at your spouse. Same thing. You shouldn't have dissonance with people. So you can agree to agree differently. It's a complete reframing. And so when you talk to people and say, all right, we're trying to communicate our purpose to you, and we don't think that the value that you have, which is valid, meets the goal we are trying to bring. So it gives them autonomy. It gives them back their agency. They retain that, but it also helps you keep yours, retains your integrity.
Exactly.
So they got agency, you got integrity. Like everyone's Gucci.
Cool.
We Gucci.
We cool. Exactly.
Go hit up the CEO Connect.
I'm a fan
Be
of all
blessed.
that. My gosh.
And exclusivity. I'm definitely for one as a advocate for our culture. I believe there has to be an exclusivity component. I mean, your brand is called Black House. Like, if you know, you know. Like. So. Go ahead. Oh, you about to say something?
No, I'm just like.
If you know, you know. And so I mean, you've seen the kind of branding elements that I'm bringing to the table, right? And I'm happy I made the cut, right? But you've seen the platform I'm trying to build with Culture X, like it's in the name. It's Culture X, like it's our culture, and we want to showcase it. And too often people may benefit from our culture and we export it so much, but we don't really retain a lot of its value for ourselves. Yeah, that's a whole separate conversation, because I have plenty of content about culture. How do you build your pricing model? And this is really something for the entrepreneurs out there. Like, I love talking about business models.
Yeah.
Everyone just thinks, all right, make more money, charge more money. Like, it's not that direct. It's actually not that simple.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people don't know how to price.
Yeah.
How did you come up with a comfortable pricing strategy, or did you just pull stuff out of thin air?
Right.
You know, like how did it?
I would say experience and research.
Okay.
And then understanding what you're trying to do. So experience. Again, I started out charging $20 to design business cards.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Grew up a little bit, had a little more experience.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't come out the gate saying logos 300.
200, 300. Yeah.
Right. Got a little more experience on me in school and got to the point where I could say that, right? But doing research, seeing what other folks are doing, seeing what is reasonable in the market according to what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Because you got to judge it sometimes on your own too.
True.
But I can speak based on what I do in terms of branding. You know, I did research on other companies. For example, Creative Juice. If you go on their website and you try to contact them, right at the top, it's basically say don't hit us up unless you got 20,000 on you.
Oh wow.
Straight, you know
really? That's the thing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
That's why I'm saying when you was
hilarious.
talking about a logo for 300, that's
wild.
low.
You said Creative Juice.
That's low.
I'm gonna look this up right. I'm gonna put this on the screen.
I'm trying to tell you because the last
Oh, they're definitely members here.
what'd you say?
They're definitely members here.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Let's see their
and
address.
I think Octavia went to SCAD. She's so dope. She's
This
so
is
dope.
hilarious.
Yeah, I think
Hold
I'm gonna
on.
go back to SCAD to get a master's. Gosh, what am I sitting here talking about? Pricing.
Yes. Creative Juice.
Yeah, just doing a little bit of research. Like, I'm like, okay, well, Creative Juice talking about that. I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, I don't want to put people's business on the street because I don't know everything, but if I had to guess, I would say that like Matchstick, that's like a pretty big one. They're probably talking $50,000. Like, don't even come and talk. Like, don't even hit us up unless you got that on you. So, just understanding what's going on in the market.
I'm so sidetracked right now.
Oh,
I'm looking at the thing. This is wild.
Do you think?
I don't see it. I want to see it. Is there like a banner
Go
that
to
shows?
try clicking contact.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's wild. Okay, you ready for some G? Oh, okay. Oh, they for real.
They brought that down though.
Yeah.
They brought that down because it used to say 20.
They for real.
It say 10,000 now.
Yeah.
5,000 a month, a minimum monthly retainer.
That's wild.
You feel me? So just knowing what's going on.
No facts.
Because if you listen to, if you just sitting out here setting prices based on what people think is expensive and X, Y, and Z, you're just gonna price yourself too low sometimes. But also understanding you can't just raise your price and not deliver more value.
Correct.
So you have to be delivering value.
Absolutely.
And let me be clear that value is not always more deliverables.
Yes.
Like, don't hurt yourself.
It's not always quantitative.
Exactly. A lot of times, it's more on that quality.
It's quality.
So, for example, back when I was doing logos, like at the beginning, I feel like I was pumping out so many more deliverables in certain ways, but not necessarily more value.
Yep.
Like, you might have your logo in a bunch of different versions, a bunch of different styles, and crazy stuff back then.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, no, you're gonna get one logo, 2 variations. We'll give you all your formats you need. But really, what you're getting is the market research.
Correct.
You're getting the positioning strategy. Like, we're not just putting together a pretty logo.
Yeah.
We're trying to understand how your company should come off.
Yeah.
And that is what's valuable. Like, that's what's helped me figure out our pricing. And then pivoting, like our pricing today is not what our pricing was at the top of the year. Like, I had to restructure. Because at the beginning of the year, I was noticing our photo shoots were incredibly unprofitable. Like to the point where I was like, I don't even want to do a photo shoot.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? It's because I'm just not pricing it right.
Yeah,
it's not equal to the value.
May have to adjust the hourly rate versus the amount of hours you actually give them.
Exactly.
Right?
So just understanding value a little bit better, and what you're trying and what the goal is.
Yeah.
So like I said to myself, well, I don't really want 20 projects on my plate at one time, on our plate at one time.
Exactly.
I want a few high quality contracts
Yeah.
at one time. So okay, in order to do that, what kind of average price do we need to be
You're just
getting?
reverse engineering
Exactly
what that is. It's a very easy. It's very simplistic. It's not necessarily easy, but it is very simple.
Exactly.
Again, as entrepreneurs, to really deconstruct that. Yeah.
Exactly. So just really trying to figure out how to deliver value, researching the market to see what levels there are. Because I'm not telling folks not to go get a $300 logo or brand identity, whatever. You know. Like, for example, I've had someone hit me up before. They had a new company that they were starting, and I don't have anything against new companies because I'm willing to work with one if they are ready to start off like that strong. But the company that hit me up, I'm like, look, y'all, I can sit here and charge you $10,000 for what you need.
Right.
I really will and can.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should start like that.
Exactly.
I think you should take this, go spend $300 and go get something to get you started. Go figure out what you want to be. Go change your mind. Go make decisions and realize it was the wrong one.
Exactly.
And
you need to do that.
I don't want you to spend $10,000 with me now, and then 2 years from now you got to spend 20.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly. Because let's change the little dot. Remove the dot from our logo. We don't want it no more.
Yeah.
Like, you can do that on Canva for $13 a month.
Right. So just I don't know. And I like to be real with people. Like, I'm not here to hit you over the head. Like, there's somebody who needs to spend this type of money for this type of thing. You don't need to do that quite yet, in my opinion.
No, facts.
You feel me?
I mean, just going back to the value piece, like, there's a reason why companies pay $180,000 for a 15-second ad for the Super Bowl. Right, we all watch Super Bowl commercials, right? That's like the littest. That's probably more lit than the game sometimes.
Can't wait to see Rihanna on halftime,
right? And so, a company will pay 6 figures for 15 seconds, but the value they're getting, you're broadcasting to literally millions of people.
Yep.
And so, a small company may not need that.
Nope.
They definitely will not have the budget.
Right.
And like, can you even handle the return on that investment?
Literally.
Right? People think that, I just need, investing was broken down to me as like buying time. Like, if you have an angel investor tomorrow comes in and say, hey, I want to donate $100,000 to Black House Brands or $100,000 to our palette, I'd be like, yo, that's dope. But if you don't really have a use of funds strategy, if you haven't actually ironed out what you're actually going to do with it, like, there's a reason why people lose the money that they win the lottery. No, literally. There's a reason why people lose it because they don't know, one, how money works, and two, how they actually deal with that return. You're buying time. So in a certain sense, you're traveling into the future much faster than you probably anticipated. Right?
And that's scary.
It's scary.
But a lot of people don't really get that. Like,
they don't.
And we're in this era now. It's like, I want to be a millionaire.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get this money.
Can you handle that?
Relax. Because you got to be a 200,000 there before you should be a million.
Absolutely. And that certain things like that are not, they're biblical. They're taught in paradigms. They're taught in, like, and
tried and true.
No, seriously. And like, I'm gonna get proverbial for a second.
Get on
and on one of our previous segments, Bank on It, we talked about money and wealth, right?
Yeah.
And shout out to Devon Walker, amazing young soul, and he told me about how the pharaohs of old, there was a test for the young princes to be able to be qualified to be the next king, the next pharaoh, whatever, right? The next ruler, emperor. You literally had to bear the weight of the gold, physical gold that your forebears wore, right? So you're literally wearing like basically like an armor full of gold, and gold is heavy.
Yeah,
it's metal.
Life, yes.
So if you can't pass that trial, then you are not worthy to be the next ruler.
Okay. And
that's so powerful to me because, I mean, now we don't have blocks of gold, right? We pay with paper fibers we call dollar bills. But the concept, I feel like, is lost. People don't really, they're not really taught the value of wealth. Not really money, but wealth. So, like, do you understand what this $100,000 means to you, right? And they're like, oh, I got cash, I'm finna spend this on this, that. Yo, like, do you understand the return on investment? So, like, bringing it back to the real world, like, do people understand that? Can you handle that return on investment? So if that small business says, well, damn, if I only had $10K to spend on Black House, like, that's a whole different level that they're operating on.
Exactly.
So you may be at a Canva level. I use Canva today.
I use Canva all the
Canva's
time.
great.
Love Canva.
It's actually awesome. So like you can do more with that and not worry about being able to handle that level. Are you ready to jump on that next level? That's a whole rabbit hole on itself.
You gotta start at the beginning.
You have to.
So
yeah.
And everybody's beginning looks different. There are some new companies that might come in. They're like, hey, we have our business plan. We got a $500,000 loan from the bank, and we need a brand strategy. I'm like, you've come to the right place.
Exactly.
Because you're ready for this.
Exactly.
Nobody's really said it to me since we've been a branding agency, but back when I was a graphic designer, especially OGs, it's funny. Back when I was charging $300, I used to get that it's too expensive. But now that, like, the last thing we charged for a logo was still low, but that was $1,200. Just the logo.
Yeah.
And that was still low.
Yeah.
But it's like the invoice is paid. No complaints. But it's funny because some people might say things like, that's too expensive. But what we do is not expensive, it's valuable.
Yes.
I mean, period.
Indeed.
Now, you might not be able to afford it, and that's real life.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people have never even done anything with branding agencies. You don't even know if it's too expensive.
Exactly. I mean, these may be the same people that would go buy a Louis Vuitton bag or a Birkin that costs 3 bands, 10 bands. Yeah.
Right.
So like, what are we saying? Value is actually has a very fluid definition in my opinion. Because to me, it depends on if you are a consumer or a producer. Value, the definition, really is different.
For real, because to me, it's like, and first of all, I never get upset at these things because you just might not know, or you might be in your own world with it, or you might not have ate breakfast this morning. That's okay, But it's like this. Some people might get frustrated because it's like you're charging me $10,000 just for a logo and some colors or whatever they think we do.
Right.
And it's like, no, I'm charging you $10,000-$15,000 to tell you who you are, to help you understand what you're in the business of.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier to make money.
Correct.
If you know what your business is.
Correct.
Right? I mean, how hard would it be to grow if you don't even know what you're doing?
Yeah.
And so I'm in the business of helping you understand what you're doing. If you say your business, you want your business to make $100,000 within 2 years. Yeah. Well, you ought to spend at least 10 to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Theoretically.
Yeah. You got to understand. So again, what can you handle the return? Yeah. And like, getting proverbial again, right? I love this equation that was laid out. And the formula is just be, do, have. It's very simple. When it comes to like achieving this big level of success, like you don't do the things first. You have to be the person who can do the things. And then you will have the things that you do to get them, right? So like you have to be. So what is a brand, right? A brand is who you are. So it's the same concept. Yeah. Who are you in terms of your brand? I call my brands brain children. So I treat them as if they were actual children of mine.
Feels like it.
Yeah, it is. So like they are kind of their own personality. They each have their own brand, right? Our palette has children of its own. So I have grandchildren. And so like you feel me? It becomes a lot more like intrinsic. Yeah. It becomes more for real. Like this is what I do. Like I'm in the process of getting my children jobs, basically getting more income. I want our palette to have multiple jobs because right now I'm providing I'm feeding our palette, right? I want our palette to go get a job, feed itself,
move out.
No, like for real. It's the same way how you would want your child to get the best education, the best school, the best job, the best living situation, whatever. Same thing for your brand. Yep. So you have to be the type of person who understands the level that you're operating at in order to do the things so you can have the things.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Sure. Retweet.
Yeah.
Hey there, I'm Benji, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Our Pilot Network and creator of Black to School, and I am applying for the InkFile Fresh Start Business Grant. So Our Pilot is a fintech platform that connects everyday consumers to Black-owned businesses, services, and brands. What we offer is a curated shopping experience that allows our consumer base to shop by lifestyle. Users can also practice group economics in their communities, and most importantly, people from all walks of life can come to Our Palette and support amazing, growing Black brands. Now, Our Palette has a flagship event called Black to School. We offer free care packages to college students filled with essential items that are 100% produced by Black-owned brands. This brings Black businesses to college campuses and enables the student body to support a bigger social movement of supporting Black brands across the United States. There's just so much work to be done, and I'm thankful that the InkFile grant is here to support. I really appreciate your time. Again, this is Benji, CEO and founder of the Our Pilot Network and the creator of Black to School, and I am applying for the InkFile Fresh Start Business Grant.
I want to move into this whole concept of like stuff being free.
Okay.
We talked about this briefly offline, but is anything really free?
If there is, ain't many things free in this life. Let's give me more. What you looking for? Tell me.
We can stick to the whole business realm of like services you provide, and you know, we're growing entrepreneurs, right? So like we've quote unquote done things for free, and people have worked with us for free, but that concept of free is not really free.
Yeah.
Because there's an exchange happening there.
Yeah.
So I personally, I don't believe in free labor. So like I will do something in exchange, even though it's not me paying you X amount of dollars. There may be a subsidy involved there, or maybe a stipend for if you're a student, for example. If an exchange of services, right? And like even with our journey of working together, I feel like we've had those moments where we came to an understanding.
Yeah.
We were pursuing value between each other, right?
That's how it works.
We weren't penny pinching and be like, all right, so you do this for the exact amount of that. And no, we were able to recognize, it was like a recognized game situation.
Real recognized.
Like
real.
for real. I love that because we recognize, okay, Benji can do these certain amount of things for my brand. I feel like he can add this amount of value, intellect, support, infrastructure, whatever. And then likewise, I see that Jeeah is an intelligent being. She has an excellent brand that she has birthed, and she has an amazing group of people who help her. Wow. This is dope. I would love to be a part of this.
Yeah.
That is value. And that's more valuable than all the checks we can write to each other.
Literally. Literally.
Yeah, more valuable.
If I gave you just come in here $1,000 or whatever.
It's gonna be. It could be gone tomorrow, and it's gone.
Exactly.
That's it. But the relationship we have here, the best business is done with relationships.
Yeah, for real.
And you look at the biggest names in this country, the biggest names in history. Yeah. The shit they accomplished was through relationships. Whether it was getting on Capitol Hill and getting this new law passed, or figuring out a way to make it legal for rideshare to be a thing. Like when you look at the evolution of Uber, I'm a huge podcaster, so like I listen to so many podcasts that talk about the history of Uber. Like that was taboo back in the day when Travis Kalanick was like trying to introduce this new concept of a complete stranger pulling up to your crib, knows your address. You walk out, you getting in this person's car, don't know who they are, and they are bringing you to a destination. Yeah. They're not from a licensed taxi company. There's no logo on the car. You know, it's not the yellow cab that you might see. It's just a regular dude in his Nissan. Like, what?
I feel old. That makes me feel old.
But now it's just regular. I'm catching an Uber to the airport tomorrow. Like it's easy.
It's normal.
That was done through relationships. The steps he had to take, the people he had to talk to appeal to, the audience that he had to capture.
Stratcom.
It's Stratcom, for real. Whether we think we're doing it or not, strategic communication is very important.
Okay.
And like communicating to your clientele, business partners, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm rambling. Back to my question. Is anything really free? Do you think so?
Nah, I think everything is about an exchange of value, like you said, and a lot of figuring out if you're going to do something for quote unquote free. Yeah. It's about understanding what your goals are, and if you're going to get into a relationship where maybe you exchange things or you got to understand what you're trying to accomplish. So let's say, for example, I have a shoot coming up. I need a model. I can't afford to pay one. Okay. But I know a model, and I'm like, look, I know that you told me your goal is to grow your portfolio by working with reputable brands. I don't have the money to pay you, but I have a really huge company behind my back. They've been featured in Essence. They've been featured in Oprah Daily. They've been featured X, Y, and Z. I can't pay you, but I can put you in this shoot. You can be the star of this campaign.
Correct.
Are you willing? Is that valuable enough to you? Because I'm not going to force your hand.
Right.
Is that valuable to you to do that work without being compensated with money?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, then boom, we have an exchange of value. You didn't do nothing for free.
Yep.
You just grew your portfolio by working with a reputable brand because you know what your goals are.
Yep.
And I helped you get closer to reaching them.
Yep.
And you helped me fulfill my need of needing a model.
Indeed. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
And that's the purpose of StratCom.
And that might be more valuable, like we said before, than me paying you a couple $100.
And you just walking away
to take pictures of you, and we never do anything again. And then moreover, you know, in certain ways you get even more than that too, because it's like even though it isn't free, it's an understanding that we scratch each other's back. You know, I scratch your back, X, Y, and Z. So that it goes into that relationships. Like I think I was telling Calvin. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but I was telling Calvin. I was like, you know, let's figure out a barter so we can work. You know, do X, Y, and Z to give value for one another. We got all our lives to pay each other.
Yeah.
We got all our lives to pay each
facts.
other. And it'll be easy to pay each other in certain ways one day.
Yeah.
But we work something out now and it'll be great. Like I ain't even tripping.
Yeah.
So I'm rambling now, but
No, you good. You're the one that's supposed to ramble.
Oh, yeah.
Not me.
Okay.
But no, the growth is real, and I love seeing that with my business colleagues as well, who are some of them are my family, my fraternity brothers, and just good friends who I've had with me. And like we're getting to that point where like we actually can stop doing favors for each other. Like we can actually put each other on payroll.
Yeah.
But the fact that we can have a story of growth is intrinsic.
Exactly.
So we can look back when we're 30 and we're retired, because I do want to retire about 30. We'll look back and be like, yo, you remember that one time where I asked you to come with me to Alabama?
Literally.
And I had, and this just happened this summer. You remember that one time I asked y'all to come with me to Alabama to do this shoot, and it wasn't exactly like the amount that I bargained for, but let's go for the experience. And they were just like, you know what, I'm gonna come because let's just make the best out of it.
Yeah.
Had a client set up, supposed to bring in this big check, and they ended up telling us, what's the term? I guess undercutting. When they're like, it was supposed to be a whole weekend from Thursday to Sunday. So you can imagine how much that check was going to be. We were covering an entire weekend. But they were like, oh, we only need you for Saturday. I was like, okay. And I was like, part of me wanted to pull out, but the other part of me was like, you know what? I'm going to give them the best damn Saturday content that they've ever, no, for real.
Yeah.
So that way, if they reach out again, I'm going to decline respectfully because of a number of different reasons, or B, I may accept, but now you're probably going to get charged more.
Yeah.
Because this price right now is not going to be the same price next year. So I was really trying to help you. I'm still going to help you, and I may continue to help you, but the price for that assistance may change.
Relationships.
Part of value, bringing value to the table, is work ethic. And I believe that work ethic is skill plus integrity plus talent.
Yeah.
And I think we have to like sit.
Is it talent or time?
Talent. SIT. I like for us to sit in our shit. When you sit in that good shit, you bring that to the table. Like that's work ethic. That's real value. Let's shout out some businesses.
Yeah.
Let's shout out some brands.
Sure.
Let's start with you. What can we do? How can we support? You know, what other brands that you might shout out that you were a fan of? And
yeah, I'm a fan of the Gathering Spot. I don't know if I said it already, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Cigar City Club.
Okay.
They're an incredibly dope space.
Gotcha.
Lots of OGs in there as well.
Yeah.
But so luxe, so comfy. Just love that place. Also, of all the companies that I was researching, maybe working with one day, you never guess who had some of the best branding, in my opinion, or some of the most well put together things, in my opinion. Cascade.
Like the skating rink?
The skating rink.
Really?
Love Cascade.
Really?
They've got it together in a lot of ways. in my humble opinion.
I can't skate, yo.
Get it together,
I don't know
Benji.
how to
I'm just
skate.
playing. I'm just playing. Can you play spades? No. Oh my gosh. But
don't put me on your team.
We'll work on it.
I will host
everybody
the event.
at Benji and tell him to get it together.
Sure. Get me right.
But Cascade, I'm a fan of them. Gosh, hold on. I know I'm missing somebody. I'm a fan of Bar Vegan too.
Yes,
I'm
dope
a fan
spot.
of Bar Vegan. They're new. They started
new.
around when we started.
Yeah, about a year ago. I wanna say. Over
But
at Pont City Market.
Yeah, those are some of my favorites.
Lovely. In the spirit of Lux Life, I have a Lux Life collection, right, in our palette, right? Luxury and lifestyle.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of talking about Lux Life, I'm gonna shout out to Black House Brands first of all. I got the pen. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but we have the voice, the face, the heart and soul right here. So Black House Brands for sure. Lovely group of people. Like I actually had fun.
We're all crazy.
we got to be crazy, right?
A little bit.
Just a little bit. But it was great. And then that segues into the 125 collection, amazing candle brand / lifestyle brand, and how they're bringing amazing scents to the community.
They're dope.
Scents and scents, right?
Hey.
I like that.
And scents?
Yeah.
What's up?
I mean, hey.
How far?
How far?
All right.
All of those. Usually I like to be head to toe black owned, but today I think only thing I'm rocking now is Line Out watches. So shout out to my boy Jordan, based out in California. Yeah. It is a couplepreneur company. Yeah. I want to shout out Ovation for Men. Shout out to Sean Crenshaw. Yes. Mr. Sean Crenshaw. Mr. Sean. With Ovation for Men. I mean, there's so many. I can go on and on.
I need to shout out our members too.
Go for it.
I'm tripping. I was just saying some of my faves, but some of our best members, our longest standing members, is the 125 collection, MogulCon, the #1 business conference for elite black women in business, Simplicity Beverage, our new member, Silver Fox Staffing.
Silver Fox. I might know them.
Yeah, and then Inner Peace Outer Glow. That's from Translee. Funny, one of my favorite rappers met him right here at the gathering spot. Started getting some, plans on the table. So
Translee.
Yeah,
he did one of the commercials.
Yeah, he's on the Grand Hustle with T.I.
Got you.
Yeah,
and he did a commercial for TGS thing. Yeah, I think that was the song.
Yeah, he's very dope and very cool and just relaxed. Sure. But yeah, those are some of our key members. People are gonna be mad at me if I don't shout them out, but I'm a lead them right there. Don't fight me, please.
Facts. Yeah. Tronus Official, founded by a black woman athlete. That's part of my CEO collection. They sell basically like luxury athletic shoes, like athleisure.
Wow.
Oh man, you got Sis, you got Telfar. Shout out to my Telfeezy girls out there.
Telfar these days. I'm like, dang, I'm behind.
I want to shout out Fanbase. The largest and fastest growing black-owned social media platform. Man, we can do this all day.
I like the Trap Music Museum a lot.
Yeah, Trap is dope. I want to shout out Render Atlanta. The Black-owned tech conference. They combine culture with technology, basically STEM, but mainly tech careers and things like that. But yeah, man, this is Morning Melanin. Before we go, I want to get how much time we have? All right, cool. We might have to cut it and restart, but I'm going to tell you.
Good morning, y'all. This is Jeeah from Black House Brands, and you're tuning in to Morning Melanin. Hey, yo, Benji.
What's good?
Let's wake the people up.
Let's do it. I love it. See, you got it.